So welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gomer and a podcast engineer here. And I'm excited to bring you another episode of Conversation for All with Christian Mendez and EC Marketing for All. And which we just started just in the last couple months here. And I met Christian through a mutual contact, and some of his work with marketing and so on. But there's nothing for doing the pass it over to Christian here to kick us off. So welcome, Christian, and you are on mute.
All right. Thank you. Good Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. Thanks for having us. Thank you, Emily, for everything that you do. Go ahead and unmute Mr. Allen Holmes. Come on in because we're going to make this a bit of a different. I know we just celebrated September 11th. I apologize. Commemorated September 11th with all due respect, and I apologize for my poor choice of wording. We commemorated September 11th on Wednesday. Today we are celebrating Friday the 13th because it seems to, in my calendar, Friday the 13th is lucky. Because it is lucky and because it is something that is much luck to me. I wanted to make sure that I got on here and we did something a little bit different. I know we're talking about conversation, and absolutely, let's go ahead and make sure that we kind of touch base in regards to why we're here. And again, thank you for having me, EC Marketing, Christian EC Marketing for all. It's really shifting gears to our support, why we're here, the actionable steps that we're actually taking. So, as always, you guys can join us at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this and every Friday. Again, that's why we're here. We're looking to raise awareness for a couple of different organizations. But overall, after speaking with a couple of our networking buddies, we have to help everyone. We have to be open. We have to be listening. We have to be welcoming. And so I know we're here to raise awareness for our Project 22, projectdiehard.org, and our 22 mission statement. Obviously, it's to raise awareness. Did you know that 22 veterans are taking their lives? And it is more, so make sure that we do correct ourselves as well because we want to make sure that it's correct. But currently, the program and the projectdiehard.org as 22 is what we're raising awareness to actually for our veteran suicide rate. EC Marketing for All, as well as its partner networks, are committed to supporting organizations dedicated to veteran mental health, underserved communities, disability, and everybody else. So I really think that we want to raise awareness, and this normally is the conversation for all. But I think, Alan, a couple of our networking folks, as well as yourself and myself, we're tired of conversation. So we're making this about action and what we're going to be actionally doing. So we're taking a new campaign, and we've gotten a couple of folks that we'll introduce later on as they come in. Justin will be in a little bit later. He's closing in on some new partners for funding. This is again our networking to bring folks better resources for our business community, for all of our communities. And the more that we can lean on folks that have experience and trust, folks that have proven results, the easier things will be. It's not easy. Nothing is easy. However, when somebody's taken 10 steps already ahead of you and they're willing to be honest, integrity, and help out, and they're lending a hand, please, that's what we're here for. So as we make that long introduction, master connector. Come on in, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're doing today.
Well, first of all, thank you, Christian. Thank you, Spirit of the Games. Thank you, the Disability Channel and the Project Diehard and all the community of our world. Happy Friday the 13th to you, as Christian says, lucky. Well, yes, we did commemorate the somber day of September 11th, and we're continuing forward as a master connector. Community is the essence of business, and I'm the master connector for building it, meaning that each and every day we wake up and we want to reach back and reach forward by lifting up veterans, as well as those with abilities and those with disabilities, as well as those with dreams and ideas. And that's what I am here to do, to support and be, it's a little bit about me. I grew up in Compton, served in the military from 87 to 90 years, 13 Bravo, and now I'm supporting the veterans around the world with different resources, because there's a lot of individuals hurting right now. And like Christian says, we must take action. And I started by supporting this amazing platform along with Mr. Christian Mendez. I am a, for the lack of what, a brand ambassador supporter for. He's very humble about supporting with the DC Marketing for All. I'm a brand ambassador at FamilyShieldPro.com is where you can find some of the resources, such as No Card and a couple of other resources to help move forward for those who are needing a website or needing a resource to be able to help their nonprofits. We had the honor and privilege of speaking with Santa Papa earlier today with some of the things that he's doing for Christmas and the community pay it forward with Zach Clayton. So just a plethora of different resources. But thank you, Christian, for allowing me to be here, part of, once again, brother from another, and supporting your role and vision for the veterans and the disability community on this Friday the 13th and beyond.
Absolutely, absolutely. Emily, come on in, introduce yourself, tell us what you're doing and what we got going on today, Friday the 13th, or what you have on the horizon, how we can support and uplift you as well.
So I am a virtual assistant, podcast assistant here in Wisconsin. So if anybody is looking for any virtual assistant help to be on either the show that we're doing right now or any of our other shows, or would like a be around like virtual booth, like if you'd have a conference, please let me know. Back to you, Christian.
All right. Thank you for that virtual booth space. So a lot of people don't know and they don't interact. I know we have, again, we talk about like different scams and different things, but Emily's the real deal. Virtual booths and the big Biz Expo coming up. We got a couple events for the end of September. I know you got some calendar stuff that you're going to put in the chat in the end of September with Zach. Some of the stuff that we're going to be doing in October 24th. Don't make me a liar. Kurt, double check my date, October 24th, and then another one December 5th. So we're really getting ready. We're ramping up a couple of events, a couple of things that we're going to be going ahead and showcasing. But the most important part, and again, as we bring in Kurt and our also another one of the ambassadors on here, part of the World of Ability Podcast Network, today's Disability Channel, Project Diehard. He's got a lot of things in Milwaukee that he's been doing and that he has been doing. And to his credit, we had a conversation earlier this week, and he says, and I appreciate the camaraderie and also the integrity, and goes, you know what? I almost feel like a hypocrite. Some of the stuff I haven't really produced stuff that's compliant to our network. So I really think that we're going to slow things down. But as we slow things down, want to roll out that red carpet, welcome Kurt Roscoff. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what's going on today, Friday the 13th. Whoop, whoop.
All right, Friday the 13th, you bet. And, continuing practice that I call creating our own luck, by getting, I'm going to use a term by our friend Zach Clayton, all come together. So we got Conversation for All, and our buddy Zach out of Colorado, he creates a program, All Come Together. And, and that's the way I look at, life and, kind of how we get the most out of it ourselves, and how we, leave the greatest legacy is to look at how we're serving all of our contacts, and to do so in an unbiased way. I basically look at my adventures of the last 10 years. And in the last decade, a handful of years ago, I coined that phrase of unbiased pathways, because, it's the biases that we practice, and myself included. I come from out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and just with, kind of the people I hung with and the way I interpreted it and how I went about it, I just, can take a self-reflection and a self-introspection to say, wow, it's really amazing that I didn't hang out with certain people more than I did. That I gravitated to a very limited direction, a very limited demographic. And, in my journey, it took until I went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to experience what I call diversity at the university, before I started to realize how in my local area here, where actually I live right now, just a few blocks from where I grew up, I'm 52 years old, and I talk about how in many ways my eyes weren't very wide open until I entered my 40s. And the stimulation for this was through the sport that I love, water skiing. We were just with our friend Misty from Australia, and she said she was looking for pictures of me water skiing online. So if you Google Kurt Roscoff water skiing, or try to figure something out, it's like, oh, apparently I don't give you guys material. So we're going to take attention to that. But a decade ago, I had tension about a community member was sent home dry after being ready to ski in our water ski show. And two of our friends decided that he was not going to ski, being president and another board member of our club at that time. And I just really saw it as unfortunate. The one comment made was, if he skis, then everybody's got to ski. And that's where I created the Everybody Skis program, the Inclusion of Water Skiing campaign. And that's where I really love the branding of Marketing for All and the show Conversation for All, because it just really fits hand in glove with what my journey and leadership and crusade and change making, marketplace disruptor, everything that is me, is to make sure that with whatever we do, it is for all. Back to you, Christian.
Love that. Love that. I mean, you can't get much more of a plug-in if I paid the guy. We love it, appreciate it. He said he talks about a decade, and absolutely. Remember, all funds and proceeds are going to projectdiehard.org. Community pay it forward. I believe it's .us. Make sure that you put it in the chat for us, Alan, because I want to make sure that we call on him, or text me on the side as well, please, so that way we have it as well. I know you sent it yesterday, and again, appreciative of everything that you've done. I want to highlight two things that Kurt just mentioned, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. Emily's been doing this for quite a while. Kurt just mentioned that he's been doing something for over a decade. I want to make sure we understand something, and this is the thing that we sometimes fail to understand. Everything happens one step at a time. He didn't start it now and is going to wait to see if it works out. He's not going to want to maybe think about it. See, one of the things that we lack as folks is just, and it's not motivation, I promise you. You're motivated to do it. You really have a thought and you really want to do it. You may not know where to start. Reach out. Conversation at EC Marketing for All. Reach out to any of our podcasts. Reach out to any of our LinkedIn. Reach out to YouTube. If you have a goal that you want to benefit any one of the organizations, any one of our communities, or anyone in that matter, we want to hear from you. We really want to make sure we're here and we equip you, because like Kurt said, when you feel left out, we've been left out. We've seen other people be left out. It doesn't feel good. It's not a good feeling. So we don't want that to happen to somebody else. And if you have a dream that can make changes, that can impact the global community, or maybe you don't know what kind of change, but you want it, then that's what we're here to do, is support you, uplift you. We're your cheerleaders, and we are absolutely fine and dandy cheerleading for any cause. That's the thing that he just said, is for all. It truly means it, for everybody that has anything to say. And we definitely carve this out for our today's disability channel. We carve it out for the World of Ability podcast network. We talk about Project Diehard and our veterans, but us as human beings, just people to people, to we be able to look at each other and smile. One of the things that I love when Santa and I thought my buddy Hugs was coming in, so he's here. One of the big things that I've mentioned to my buddy Hugs, ridiculous, which you guys can find him on. He'll just drop his info in the chat. But I've asked him, and gosh, Lee, man, it's Miles. Like, how are you going to introduce your friend? His first name is Hugs, last name ridiculous, middle name insane, and you can't help but smile. His name is Hugs. And then you look at his who he is and what kind of person that he is. You look at a person like Alan, and you get to know him, you get to meet him. Same thing with Kurt and Emily. And we all have our different quirks. We all have our different challenges. Myself, I was on a show with Rudy Gargioni in finances and funding, professional conversation, and he tells me about my brain. This is 40 plus years after, hundreds of thousands of folks, thousands of people that we've worked with in the last 20 years. And this gentleman across my screen is literally being so kind as to share his experience in neurodivergent, and I'm able to go, that's me there. Thank you. Communitypayitforward.us. That's www.communitypayitforward.us. Thanks again for that, Alan. Going back to that and exactly what we're talking about. Also, check out some of the other stuff that we're doing through HNP. You guys can look at some of the projects with Go Brunch. I met Richard, one of the co-founders for the full Go Brunch platform, and as I mentioned to him, as I always do, leaving value. There's some things that we could clean up and make less confusing for folks like me. So I'm more than welcome. Welcome folks again to drop your projects, to let us know where you're at, what we can support, where we can plug in, where we can lift up your organization. And so, with that being said, I want to take a little bit of time and say, we met with Alan Holmes, the master connector, through here and through these networks. He was in a place where he has a vision and a mission to help families, and he has his own mission in life to help his own family. And so it's beautiful to know that, and I want to share it with him, but I want him to share it. Excuse me, because the reality is we have similar backgrounds, and we know what it is to be without a father, without a parent, and we already know how it feels to be treated in these manners. We don't want anybody else to feel that way. So when I first met him, I told him, I said, you are well connected. There are some things that I can help with, and so that's what also helped launch some of these campaigns that we're going to be rolling out. So we want to have a campaign for any business, veteran businesses, or disability or ability enhancement companies. Anyone that wants to get involved through this is going to get a donation. We're taking donations, but we're going to do them through services. So we're going to offer our services, and we're going to just give out 50% of it is going to go towards our referral. Well, 25% is going to go through a referral person, and then 25% of it is going to go through to the organization. So we're going to be very, 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 very aggressive with this. And anybody that calls in, we're going to let them know. Anybody that chats in, we're going to let them know. And these are offers that we're going to make available for through Zach as well. We have some of our writing partners that have already agreed and okayed. They're going to be on those networks as well. They're going to be plugging away at this. We want to make sure that we make it as easy as possible. And just like Zach put on there, and I know that Brian Gibson, projectdiehard.org, folks, you guys can take a look at some of the stuff that's on there. You guys can also take a look at some of the stuff that he's got on LinkedIn. And again, we definitely need more boots on the ground. We need more support for our volunteers. Again, imagine supporting Kurt for 10 years, you guys. Just stop for a minute. What have you done for the last 10 years? Not what the next 10 years is. What have you done? Ask yourself today that you say, you know what? 10 years ago, I did this. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat, put it wherever you want. 10 years ago, I've accomplished this much. I don't know what that is, but I'm just curious to know. Because this is what we're talking about. When we say actionable, when we say we're going to actually do, this is what I'm talking about. And I want to lift Kurt up in such a manner that he thinks he's water skiing. Because let me tell you, if one person does it, then everybody else has to do it. Great! If one person gets to succeed with EC marketing, then everybody gets to, then great! If one organization gets donations, then everybody has to. Great! If Alan gets a website and gets a phenomenal deal and he has to give back to his community, then everybody has to. Great! Can we find more people like Alan? Can we find more people like Kurt? Can we find more people like Emily? If Emily has to do this, and she's done this, she did I believe July 4th, Emily, you did a full day show, variety show type of thing where you filled in. I want to listen.
Yeah, I did it with the Easy Expo thing, like the event we're doing on October 24th and December 5th.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Yes,
I did
yes.
the same type of thing on July 4th with Easy Expo.
Awesome, awesome. And that's, again, incredible things that it didn't take her 10 years, but I want to know what we've done for 10 years, or what did we not do in 10 years? Now, that's where the hard-hitting part comes in. So the first question was, what did we do in the last 10 years that we can be proud of? The next thing we can do today, right now, is, what do I want to do? Yes, I want you to change the world. Absolutely. But just putting changing the world is just dial it in for me. Just dial it in just a little bit for me. Okay. If I had X amount of money, okay, forget amount of money, because we got there's definitely funding, there's definitely things like that. I just want to know the dreams, because we're going to start equipping folks that can, some resources, some writers, some producers, some editors, web designers, uh, VAs, coalitions, whatever it is that's going to be on the job training. And that's what we're looking to do, is match. And I'm going to go back to projectdiehard.org. And that is Brian Gibson's heart, to man every state with a headquarters where veterans can go to it and get resources, get on the job training, get resources for things to get them back into. And we talk about the same thing with Zach Clayton and what he's doing and what he's got going on right now. Again, part of that is something that he's been doing for years and something that he's been working on for years. This isn't things that just all of a sudden, but it's okay if we do all of a sudden just start working on this. That's what I'm trying to get for Zach Clayton and the community pay it forward.us. It's there. It's an ability for you guys to shop within your guys' community and then bring back the receipts so that we can get some money or some funding into this community paid forward.us. The whole point of it is, if your community doesn't have a business, come to us and we'll start calling your community and we'll start getting this, and maybe you'll be the main person to head this out. And if you don't want to head this out and you just want to make the connections, we'll put you in contact with Alan, our master connector, and then he will get with me and Kurt and Emily and Brian and Zach, and everybody else on the networking, and Rudy and Diva and everybody else, because we have everybody that's kind of working. We're wanting to streamline it. Sam and Papa John, that guy makes me smile every time I see him. I get to be on the nice list for once, and again, I bring that up all the time. I got an in with Santa now. I got a personal in. And if you're a business that wants to be Santa approved, but you don't know what that even means, reach out to us. Yes, your business can be Santa approved. You can get a 30-second, or we'll make it to where it's customizable, personalizable for your business, so that you can display it as folks are walking by your store. You can have Santa inviting them in to your store, and it's personalized for you and your business and your community. Absolutely. Alan, come on in. You started FamilyShieldPro.com. You maneuvered your way around that domain. You got it up and running. And what are we doing with that domain? And what are we looking to do next?
Well, first of all, thank you, Christian. And you are an integral part of it. Like you say, my brother from another is very humble, but FamilyShieldPro.com was a birth child that could not have happened without Christian. And one of the things we're talking about, and we will be bringing on board is, for example, the resource that Santa Papa has talked about that so much veterans need. There's a list of different resources that are available, but that the world doesn't know about it. And I will be one of the things kind of giving you your early Christmas present, getting with Santa Papa to be able to know that veterans and those with abilities and disabilities that will be a resource that will be coming soon. We'll be working on it to get the value out of what is available for the veterans and their families, because so many veterans and families are hurting, and the suicide rate that we want to go down, not up. That, for example, Santa Papa will be reading to the beautiful children of the hospitals and the veterans that are not able to make it to Christmas. So there's a lot of things you'll see over the next couple of weeks and months rolled out. And of course, being able to get a hold of me, and we'll have a one-on-one to figure out how we can get your dream and vision in front of the great veterans that we have in the disabled disability channel, and those who have dreams and hopes that are not yet fulfilled yet. We're here to support. So thank you, Christian, for putting together this amazing Conversation for All platform with so many great minds that are coming soon. And it's not, like you say, actions, boots on the ground. And let's see how we can make a difference in somebody else's around the life around the world globally.
One of the biggest things I want to make sure that everybody knows and is attentive. I did not have not served. I want to make sure I am here to serve our people. I'm here to serve our communities. I'm here to serve our veterans. I'm here to support. And even if I don't agree with you, I'm going to support you to speak, for you to be able to stand up and speak your piece. So even if we disagree, that's the thing that we talked about, inclusivity, and we mentioned it as well. But I want to lean back into why we're here, and something that is super impactful, folks. Did you know that suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the U.S.? I'm looking at this right now. Suicide statistics from AFSP, that's A as in Alpha, F as in Frank, S as in Sam, P as in Peter.org. That's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. You can donate to them directly. Nothing against it. I want to make sure that we understand that these are the organizations that are looking to do something, and they're doing something that's great. We are not associated with them yet, but this is where I'm giving you guys the direct source, and we will make sure we put it in the chat, as well as the links available. We are creating a resource page, and that's where our networks and our network partners are going to be putting their offers and things that we're going to be putting back into. Immediate donations to projectdiehard.org, immediate donations back to our Pay It Forward community, communitypayitforward.us, communitypayitforward.us. So we're leading these two major causes, and we're leading them into, and we're then distributing afterwards. When I look at this and I see that suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in the U.S., and in 2022, 49,476 Americans died by suicide. It's insane. 1.6 million suicide attempts in 2022. So yes, this is from the 2022 numbers. They have not updated, at least not on the main page. And they do have a crisis line, and that's something in regards to, but this is retrieved May 11, 2024. So these are the stats that I'm doing, and you guys can become an advocate to prevent suicide. We want you guys to join us in what we're doing, not to take away from, but because we'd like to just streamline it a little bit more. Now you have a team. So now if you reach out to us, it's not where to start, what to do, where to go. No. You've got a team here of folks that are already, we've already got our boots on, we've already got our shoes on, we've already got our everything equipped. Okay. I think Kurt's bringing snacks, Alan's bringing drinks, and we're gonna go ahead but we're on the trail. We're on the trail, and we're asking you to, if you haven't shared this, please do. If you haven't liked this, please do. If you haven't found any one of our networks on through YouTube or social medias and like them, share them, or commented, please do. As a matter of fact, we would love for you to reach out to any business in your community that you'd like to see a part of. Give them a shout out in the comments, and we will reach out to them and see if they want to be included to give back to this. Alan just brought up something that we're going to be doing now till the end of the year, but I think this is going to be something that we're going to be doing on a daily. And it's something that was so impactful. But December is the biggest month. It's the loneliest month. December is the biggest month for suicides. And it's because people miss their families, people miss their loved ones, people are celebrating. We want to be around that. People are meant to be around other people. And when we don't have that, this is where again we see these harsh realities and these 1.6 million suicide attempts. That was in 2022. So again, folks, that number has gone way up. Okay. With that being said, I don't want it to go up. I want it to go down. I want to make sure that we bring awareness in regards to that, to bring support and resources. And if you just share, like, and comment, you've done a little bit for us, and thank you so much. Now we're going to pick that up, and anybody that you share, anybody that you comment in, we're going to reach out and we're going to just ask nicely. We're going to let them know what we're doing. And if they want to be a part of, they don't have to do anything other than just say yes, and then we'll take it. We'll take the offer, we'll take the business, we'll take the resource, we'll put it together. We'll align you guys up with the master connector, with Kurt, with Sam and Papa John, with Zach, whatever resource that we need. But if we know that December is the hardest, and we know that everybody faces depression and just being lonely on a day-to-day basis, sometimes when we're sitting there, no, I don't mean when you're in your bathroom and the phone's in your hand texting. I mean, when you're in solidarity and you're just by yourself, and you crave that, those thoughts and things like that. Think about it. Some of our veterans, some of the folks that are on here from other networks and other communities, they don't have somebody to reach out to sometimes. And sometimes we get deception and we get told different things or different impactful events in our life where we don't see truly the light at the end of the tunnel. So one of the biggest things that I'm kind of putting together, and as we're talking and kind of where does this all connect, is that this was meant to give you inspiring stories, expert advice, and valuable insights. And I'm telling you right now that the inspiring stories are the men and women of this country that woke up today, didn't have a great yesterday, but they woke up today and said, you know what? Brush my shoulders off, dust that off, and I'm going to go ahead and do it again. You know what? You fail, you pick up the ball. One of the folks that I'm working with, a counselor that I'm working with through another one of our great programs with Helpopedia, Kurt Groskopf will help you get together with the Helpopedia team and get you plugged into that. But one of the wonderful people, Christine Bernat, and she allowed me to make mistakes and say, you know what? You just dropped the ball. It's not so much that you fail. And if we look at it from a sports, or if we look at it from a team standpoint, is you're in possession. They hand you the ball. They pass it to you. The ball is in your court. You take it and you're trying to run with it. Ball is dropped. Game's not over. Folks, the game's not over. Ball is live. There's still action. You can get right back into it. So pick up the ball, ask your team to huddle, and let's see what we can do together. But allow yourself to make that mistake. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. And that's okay. If you just do it with yourself, that's okay. Because this is what's the most important part. You, Alan, you are the most important part right now. Kurt, you are the most important part right now for us. Emily, you in the background, you are the most important part. Everyone that is listening, you guys are each uniquely identifiable. There's a good book that tells you that the number of stars doesn't come close to how many what we can actually count, right? Scientists are now developing. We got a new new technology. We're discovering new things. We thought we knew it all, right? Here we go. Now we got a new telescope. Now we're finding all sorts of new things that we still can't explain. Wait a minute, we couldn't explain the other stuff. Now there's even more things that are grander that we can explain even less. With that being said, we know that we're uniquely identifiable, and we are an expression of of love and life. Your life is an expression of the divine. Your life is an expression of the love of the divine. Each and every one of you have come on to, if you're listening to this, if you've caught this, if any type of way you're listening to this right now, that's 100% true in fact. You're perfectly made, created, put together, awesome sauce, and 100% output as a perfect expression of love from the divine or the universe or wherever your source comes from. Because we respect all here. We respect it all. And with that being said, we want to cheer on folks. And Alan, Kurt, what else we have that is exciting for folks to get involved in, and folks that we're going to be doing. I know Brian's got the digital fill the can. I know Santa Papa John has got some of the other stuff. What other events do we have, and do we have dates? I know you're the calendar, and Emily's got the event calendar as well. So come on in, clue us in, and let's get some hype around that.
I invite everybody to join us with our Solidarity Summit. That is September 21st. So you can find out the schedule of events, Saturday and Sunday events. So the 21st and the 22nd. It's provided by Humans United in Mutual Aid Networks, website being mutualaidnetwork.org. And on there's our events tab and our calendar, and everything's in there to show you. We've got a news feed in there, so multiple ways to track to all the details of our Solidarity Summit. We do it 4 times a year with our solstice and equinox, and so forth. So this is our autumnal equinox that we're rallying around here, and and we're coming in mutual aid, which has formats of time banking, robust budgeting, mutual aid credit, community investment assistance, sharing economy stuff, common funds, work redesign assistance, project facilitation assistance. Doesn't it sound like most all people we're around could, kind of find something there that they can contribute to and that they can receive from? It's all about.
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me that. Yeah, I was actually just pulling up the email from Stephanie. Make sure you guys do join us Saturday, September 21st. Okay, 2:30 Central. Correct me if I'm wrong, because if I am, I'm going to definitely need to reschedule. I'm going to be joined by another Emily, which we're going to be going over the principles of design and web design. So myself and another talented designer will be going over, and we will be presenting for about an hour and a half up to 2 hours on September 21st through Stephanie and the summit that you just mentioned. So thank you for reminding me of that. And yes, it is a great organization. Again, another great organization where we're putting people first, not finances, but definitely time banking. And I love the concept, and that's one of the reasons why I got plugged in. All right, next event. You got another one for us, Kurt? You got another one for us, Alan?
Let's see here.
You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, you gotta
Here we
finally
go.
hit myself the unmute button. I was saying that toward the end of the month, definitely, I learned this from Kurt earlier with Coach K. He has something out here, I will get with you, Christian, with the, March Air Force Base. There's an event that supporting the veterans, that is gonna be a live event. Going to get more information. I'll make sure that Emily and everybody else has that. Then of course, September being the preparedness month, Pamela Kelly was actually one of the young lady that actually told us about September being preparedness month. So I Prep to Thrive. There's I Prep the number 2 thrive.com. You can find various different projects in her mission to help individuals being prepared, and FamilyShieldPro.com happens to be one of the membership, one of the sites that's on there, which is I wanted to just put that out there as just being again moving toward the events, and then of course Emily will be sharing with you the various events such as the Easy Expo and October event. So yeah, a lot of great events that are moving forward, and again actions on the ground, and feel free to reach out to me, those who are listening to the great community and Conversation for All podcast. Reach out to me if you've got so much overwhelmed. That's where I'm your human search engine and human beacon. Be there to be just answer any questions I have that you may have. Back to you, Christian.
All right, bud. Yeah, Kurt filled us in, and yeah, we got a collaboration global guest session online at Eventbrite for Tuesday, September 24th. So we're gonna be picking up some steam. We're gonna be picking up some things. I just want to get folks involved. I want to get folks. If you guys would comment on projectdiehard.org through LinkedIn, or reaching out through the Zach Clayton and what he's got going on right now with the community pay it forward.us, or if you guys reach out to the Today's Disability channel, just do me a favor. If you guys comment on anywhere and comment anything, and you guys tag us or at EC Marketing for All, at Christian Mendez, or at Alan Holmes. That's Alan, AlanHolmes. If you guys add us, we will make sure that we do our due diligence. Now we are marketers, we are professionals, we are here to serve. Again, I go back to the servanthood and the spirit of shoe shining, or boot shining, if you will. Those that used to know about the shoe shine kits, um, God bless you. Times were simpler, uh, but the servanthood in regards to shining shoes, when dress shoes, and there would be shoe shine boys and girls, um, and it was just it was almost a job that nobody really much respect for. And so I couple that with washing feet, which is from scripture and literature. And I tell you, if you've ever washed, or if you've watched somebody wash somebody's feet, boy, it humbles you. If you yourself have washed feet before, I lend myself to you. And again, in the same spirit, it's amazing. I say that with openness and with an open heart, to say that we're here to serve in the best way that we can. If your business, if your person, if your organization, if your team, if your group, if you guys need any marketing, advertising, any type of service or work or help, if your business needs help, just reach out. We're more than happy to starting off and giving you guys free resources, giving you guys some development steps that you can use on your own. It's about sustainability. And so we're going to be doing some classes with writing, some classes with management online, and we're going to be doing this on a daily basis because, hey, if I'm here for another day, then we're here to continue our purpose. So catch us on YouTube. Make sure you guys add us on LinkedIn. If you guys just share the channel, you guys share the networks, we greatly appreciate it. And it definitely doesn't have to be EC Marketing for All. It's any of the other organizations, and we are looking at, and we are going to be promoting and contributing to, and each and every one of you folks, wonderful folks out there. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start with the goodbyes with Kurt, Alan, and then Emily, and then we can wrap it up.
All right. So does that mean I'm first, or who are you starting with?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, I really love this show and the title, Conversation for All, because for me, being a marketplace disruptor, being a crusader, a change maker, looking at, with the work we do, are any behaviors changing? Are we really making a shift so that by the actions we take, that it is better for everybody around in 6 degrees of separation to serve well the entirety of the population, all of the population of 8 billion people around, and not just for present time. So I'm looking at 7 generations from now. So we're looking at kids of kids of kids of kids of kids to look at, 7 centuries from now, 700 years from now. How are we doing things now that creates a legacy for hundreds of years? And how can we grow that capacity? It's by really capturing from conversations and doing a mastermind activity, coming together so that we can have shared wisdom and really harvest from what our lives have brought forth with the seeds we've sown and, seeds of greatness. Let's bring it all forward and let's bring out the best in each other. Let's help each other be the best versions of ourselves. And let's do it through the power of conversations with the inclination that what we're talking about right here might be for a couple or a few people, but we mean it for all. Over to you, Alan. It looks like you're next.
Wow, you asked me to follow the great Special K. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, every time we stop by or I stop by as a master connector, I'm humbled that much more because of the greatness of Kurt Raskoff and Emily Gomer, and of course, Christian Mendez and EC Marketing for All, and all those who are listening around the world globally, Justin's, and the ones that were not here, but they are here in spirit. As a veteran, as a mental health advocate, and just as your human searching and your friend, as they always say, you have to check in and get in where to fit in. So please reach out to each one of us and support this incredible journey that we're honored and be a part of. I thank you, all of you, for allowing me, once again, your master connector, your human searching, and your human collaborator, to be here and to be of service to you. Thank you so much. I know the boss, the legendary, the incomparable Emily is waiting in the wings. I know she's somewhere. Knock once, and oh, there she is. Your wishes are a command. Over to you, Emily.
I'd like to thank Alan and Dr. Hugs and for joining us today, as well as anybody else who's tuned in. We are here every Friday at 3:00 p.m. Central, and we'd love to have you as on as a guest. So please connect with us if you are interested, and to check out our social media, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on. To go to all of our great organizations that we're working with, like the PAC channel, the Disabilities channel, Wingate Studios, Earl Williams, and so on. So I guess until next week, to have a safe and productive week and to stay happy.